So we need to clean this thing. So let's go back to edge mode, select this, delete our dissolve edges. Okay, so what we're going to do is to connect this to the top instead of like our edge flow here is like flowing under. Instead, we're going to connect this to the top. Okay, so we need to use our knife tool once again. Click one, let's connect here, that, and we can now start adding an edge loop. Oops, that. Okay, now you can now start fixing them by deleting these first, the edge loops, solve edges. Okay, so we need to create a, we don't need this one as well, solve edges. We need to create a edge flow over here so that it will like create a flow on this part, as you can see. And we can now start deleting this. X, dissolve edges, and we can bring this thing back to its original position. Now I will show you what happened because we already connected this part. Oh, sorry, we need to create another polygon here. I mean another edge flow because we have created an n-gon over here. So let's bring back our knife tool. Let's isolate this first. Let's bring back our knife tool. Let's just create a line like that. Oops. Okay. Now we have created already our edge loop and it's already connected. Now I will show you what will happen. So same thing, our edges are already, our topology is already localized. So every time we're gonna add an edge loop over here on top, like Control R, as you can see here, they're connected, right? It's connected here as well from top. All the upper part of the edges of our shoe are already connected. Like every time we add subdivision, they also have the same edges or consistent edges or supported edges over here. So as you can see here, we have created a bad topology here because we forgot to add another edge flow here. So we can fix that right away by using our knife tool once again. So let's use our knife tool and just basically just gonna do this one. It's the same process all over and all over again. That, do the same thing here. That, and all done. Now we can start add another add subdivision to this one. Okay, now it's way more cleaner compared before the one that we have created. So that's basically how you like connect the edges. Over here you've created a clean topology compared to our previous one that in this part we have some distortions, created artifacts all over it. So this one needs to be fixed because it's closed enough, like it's too much. Hold on, I need to fix this one as well. Make sure that they're like clean the way it flows. It doesn't have to be perfect, guys, because remember, this is a organic shape or an organic object. The form, it doesn't have to be like perfect, like you're building a house or what. This is a shoe, so it doesn't have to be extremely perfect, because if it's perfect, it's gonna look so blocky and it will not look kind of realistic, because the shoe in real life, you're gonna like analyze it, it's not perfect, right? The edges are, I mean the surface are more like a clay or something like that, right? So you're gonna do the same thing in modeling. It doesn't have to be perfectly straight. Like this one, you can see imperfections here, like bumpy, something like that. Okay, so since we have finished, oh no, we have issues here. I think our vertices are not connected, so let's bring this thing back. As you can see here, it's not connected. We can see it or here as well. So let's connect them, because we forgot to turn on our snapping. Shift tab to turn on snapping. This one as well. So let's gonna merge them again. M by distance. This one as well. We're gonna move this on top. M by distance. Okay. And this one, oh, it's okay. Okay, let's add subdivision. Okay, so we still have the same issue here. Yep, they're not connected. So let's say I'm gonna connect them. M by distance. Okay, they're connected, and we have created a clean hole over here. As you can see right here, we have created a clean hole. We can also add an edge loop over here, so that it will give supported edge for this one. So let's hit Control R and move it on top like that. Forgot to turn off snapping. Shift tab, Control R, and add an supported edge loop over there. And we're done. Our next task is to mirror this. Like, I'm gonna add also the left side of this object. So let's bring back our model and our soul over here. Let's select them both in object mode. So next is to mirror them. Like, we're gonna do the same thing here for this is our base mesh. So we're gonna focus on this one, both of these. So next is we're going to mirror this by going to, well, we don't need modifier, by the way. We just going to hit Shift D like that and Control M. Well, when you see this cursor over here, it means you're already in mirror mode. So I want you to do is to hit your middle mouse button, click like that, and you can just switch to any mode, to any axis. As you can see it here, I'm moving to x-axis. So if you're moving to x-axis, you're also mirroring to the x-axis. So if you're gonna move it upwards, you're gonna mirror it to, this is in the front part. So let's say I'm gonna mirror this once again. So I'm gonna move it to the green, like it's our y-axis. You can also mirror it to the y-axis. So I'm gonna move it to the blue over here. Hold on. I'm gonna mirror it to the blue. Why can't I mirror in the blue part? Oh yeah, here. When I mirror into the blue part, you're mirroring into the z-axis, right? So that's the shortcut how you mirror objects. So let me do it again. Okay, so let's duplicate this, Shift D, and when you are hovering like this, just press escape button on your keyboard. Now you have duplicated in the same place. Then I want you to select that once again and hit Control M and mirror it to the x-axis over here while holding your middle mouse button and drag it to the x-axis and hit left mouse on your keyboard. I mean left mouse in your keyboard. God damn it. Anyways, left mouse and just drag it right there. Now we have created a mirror, and we can turn off the subdivision by Control 0, and for this one as well, Control 0. Okay, next is we're going to connect them both. So I'm gonna align them everything, and I'm just going to manually adjust the vertices here in order to align them here into the edges over here. So I'm gonna do this in time lapse. So I'm gonna start doing this in time lapse. Okay. Okay, so we have created already the mirror and align the mesh to our sole over here. Next is we're going to attach them both together. So before that, we're gonna remove the subdivision, both of these, and we're going to join them by selecting them, Control J to join. Then we are going to edit mode, select these, M, and by distance, this one as well, by distance. I'm gonna do the same thing in front here, by distance. Okay, now let's isolate. Let's fix this part right here. Okay, now we have connected them both. As you can see here, our next is we're going to try adding subdivision, Control 1. And you can see there are issues here. I'm not quite sure what's the problem, but we could look at this. I think our normals did some issues here because we mirrored this mesh, right? So in order for us to check the normals, we could go here to our show overlays, click the arrow, and turn on face orientation. And yes, we have weird normals or flipped normals because this is the one that we have mirrored. So the blue one is the correct normal presentation, and the pink one here, or red, is the one that is in reverse. So we cannot texture this. So if you're gonna import this on Substance Painter or other texturing softwares, your mesh will be like transparent, and you can only texture it here. So in order for us to fix this, we're going to edit mode, go to face mode by hitting 3, and select all by clicking A on your keyboard and select all toggle over here. And you can go to face. Let's look for mesh. Then let's look for normals here and recalculate outside. Okay, now we have fixed the normals and everything is in blue. We can go back to object mode, and we can now turn off the face orientation over here. And let's add subdivision, and boom, now it's fixed. Now we have created our clean mesh. Our next goal is to add a solidify modifier for this one, but before that we need to add edge loops. on these part, we're going to add one edge loop. So let's go to edge mode, Control R, and let's make it closer over here. As you can see here, it's gonna be way more closer, so it's okay. By the way, you can see here our edge loop, it's not clean. I can clean this thing up over here. It's not straight. I could fix this in Maya, because Maya has a tool like you're gonna select the edges here and just I'm gonna right click, and that it automatically fixes the edge flow. But in Blender, I'm not quite familiar with the tools and how to fix the edge flow over here, but instead I'm just gonna manually move them like this to make sure that you're straight or aligned. Okay, I'm just basically eyeballing everything here, guys, but it's okay as long as it works. It doesn't matter. Okay, okay, next is we're going to add a solidify modifier for this one. So let's add modifier, generate, and solidify. Now the one previously is what I have said, we're going to add thickness inside, not outside. So let's click this, let's make it 50, 0.50. But it is not yet final, so let's bring back our reference here. I think we added too much thickness. You could just lower it a little bit. 0.25. Yep, it's enough. 0.25 is enough already. Okay, now we have created our second layer for our shoe. So let's say we're attaching it to our sole. Yeah, I think it looks good, but we need to follow the form of our previous model right over here. As you can see, it's not actually following the form here, like the way it bends, so we need to fix it. And for this one as well, the height, I think the height of this one is okay over here, because we can just add the another plastic support here. So I think we need to follow the form for this one so that we will not have any issues later on once we start creating the other parts. So let's remove the solidify modifier here, or we could just turn off the viewport over here. Sorry, we can turn off our viewport over here so that it will not work on the viewport. And we can now start adjusting. So we want to make sure everything is aligned. Sorry, this is the only one, only the top part. hold on. As you can see here on this view, you can see here our, so I'm gonna rotate this part. Oops, y-axis, like that. Boom. Let's make sure they're aligned. This part needs to move a little bit like that. Okay. Oh, sorry. Just a little bit. I wonder what's wrong on this side. It creates distortion. So let me fix this real quick. Okay. What else needs to be fixed? Let's bring back our solidify. I think it looks great. This part here has to be, hold on, sharp in this edge. I don't think it's not visible, because if you can see here, it's not even visible. Oh, it's visible. So I thought it's gonna covered by the laces. So this part has to be sharpened. Okay. So let's turn off this subdivision. Let's bring back to 0. To make this sharp, I think we need to add more edge loop here. So let's add an edge loop. Make it closer as possible, like that. Then we're gonna add an edge loop here as well, but it will ruin our silhouette, like that. Because once I start to subdivide it, yes, you will achieve it sharp, but you will end up having a distorted hole like this. So I think I will keep it remain like that and just fix the sharpness later on, because I don't think this is bad, but it looks good by the way. So I think this is enough. Okay, so we can start moving on to our next part of our mesh. So basically we have finished creating our second layer. So our next task is to start creating the third layer, which is this one right over here, because this one is the outside, the one that we have created, and this one is the inside. Now we can start creating this, and we can just fix this by using this one. Okay, let's start creating our third layer. Okay guys, so this is the third layer that we're going to create. So let's try lower down the subdivision. As you can see it here, we have created the mesh looks kind of clean, and it only needs a bit of cleanup, you know, like this. We're just gonna move some parts like that, but the mesh was low poly, so it's easy to like edit or fix the polygons, so we don't need to create everything from scratch like the one we have done on our second layer. This one, we created this one from scratch because we added booleans and fixed the booleans on this one. That's why we need to like create everything from scratch. But for this one, we don't need to create from scratch. Instead, we're just going to fix the polygons. So I will create a time lapse for this on fixing the polygons, because there's nothing much, like, just no need to explain or show you the step by step on how to clean, because what I'm going to do is just moving the polygons like this. So there's nothing much, and I'm just gonna show you the final result on how I clean everything for this one. Okay, so I'm gonna start cleaning up, but before that we're going to remove the solidify over here so that we could mainly focus on the base mesh. And I'm also going to delete these dissolve edges, and we're going to focus on the silhouette of this model only, and the polygons now we're going to like fix. So I'm gonna start the time lapse in 3, 2, 1. Okay guys, so we have finished cleaning up the third layer on our shoe. So let's say I'm gonna bring back the subdivision to 0. So you can see here it doesn't look good, but once we subdivide this thing, we can achieve a very clean mesh like that. So what we're going to do next is to add a solidify modifier here. Now let's add thickness inside. So let's bring back our shoe over there. Okay, so I think we added too much thickness. 0.2 I guess is enough, like that. Then let's go back to isolation mode and let's hit apply for the solidify. And for our subdivision, oh sorry, we need to apply our subdivision first, like that. Then we can now apply our solidify over here, and boom, now we have created already our third layer. So we could bring back our mesh here, 3 of them. As you can see here, we have created a clean topology over there. As you can see here, it doesn't have to be very clean, but this one looks decent enough, you know, because this is just for a presentation only model. But if you're gonna like use this for video games, so I will lower down the topology, or for the film, like you're going to animate this, you have to like optimize the topology more. But this one is for visualization only, or just a concept, so it doesn't matter at all. What matters is the form, and as long as you have created a good edge flow on your topology, once you're subdividing everything, you will achieve clean results. So that's all that matters, is when you subdivide it, you will achieve clean results. Okay, so our next task is to create these. So we're going to do the same method that we have created here. Like we're going to create a low poly, then use Boolean modifiers and remesh them or retopologize them, connect each other, and use sub-D modeling again. So that's basically it, and let's start working on that. So what we're going to do first is to add a plane. Shift A, mesh. Let's add a plane over here. Let's rotate it to 90 degrees. It's aligned them over here. Let's go to edit mode. I want to make sure that it's aligning this part. Okay. I think we need to add under subdivision here. Oops. To R. Let's add subdivision. And we're going to do the same thing here. We will also add a plane. Shift A. Sorry, forgot to click this. Shift A. R and Y. Holding Control to snap. Scale this thing down. We'll also add another subdivision. Go to edge mode, Control R. I'm going to add 2. Move it here. Okay. Make sure it's sticking here. Okay, next is we're going to create a cylinder similar that we have created recently. We also need 6 sides, and we're going to rotate this like that. Scale it down. Gonna rotate it 90 degrees. Extend it, and we're going to resize this, and we're gonna do the same method, like the edges of the polygon here. Like we need to make it close enough to the circle. Make sure that it's not very close, but a little bit closer. Just give some breathing space. So I think this is enough. So we're going to duplicate this. Shift D right here. Let's select them both, and Shift D. Let's duplicate here because we have 3 holes in here. Shift D. Let's add another one here. So right now we're going to rotate them individually. Like I'm eyeballing this because we're going to attach the circles here, like the polygons here. We're going to attach the holes. Oops, rotate like that. So since we're going to attach this, we're going to align them, or let's give some breathing space. As you can see here, there's no breathing space, so we need to fix these. Let's add some breathing space. It doesn't matter if your final mesh doesn't follow the correct placements, like the one with this one. So just focus on what you're working on right now. Like you don't have to trace everything like this one. I'm not really placing where the reference of holes are placing. Okay, so next is this one. So let me isolate them like this. Okay. I think this one, the spacing here, it doesn't match. It has to match here. Like I'm eyeballing it. I'm gonna rotate it like that. I'm basically eyeballing everything here. Okay. Okay, next is we're going to join them here. First we're going to join the 2 polygons here, Control J. And next is the 3 polygons here, Control J. And we can now add Boolean modifier for this one. So let's select this, add modifier, Boolean, and let's select this. We can now start hiding this one. Same thing here. I'm gonna select this. Where's the modifier? Boolean. Select this, and we can now start hiding this. And we can now apply. Hitting this, apply, and apply. Now we're done. Now this is our next task, is to connect the polygons, and we will create a clean topology, clean as possible. Okay, so we're gonna use the knife tool. First, we're going to connect them here. Connect them. This one. Also this one. Forgot to turn on the snap mode, so don't forget to turn that on. Okay, this one as well. Next is we're going to connect this one. Oh yeah, this one. Connect this one as well. And we can now start deleting the other. We can connect this one first for deleting some parts, and we can now start deleting using the move tool. Go to edge mode. So I'm gonna delete this, some parts that doesn't need. Okay, we have connected. Okay, we need to add a edge here because we have an end gun in the upper part and the lower part. So let's use the knife tool once again. Connect. Okay, this one doesn't look like they're connecting here. Yep, it does not connect, so let's fix this. Then just merge them by distance. Now we can check our polygon. Oh, this one doesn't connect as well. I don't understand why Blender is not snapping the vertices. Like, I already turned this thing on and the snapping tool on. It's still not snapping like this one. Still having some issues. Like, as you can see, I already snapped, but when I move this, oh, it's snapping. Sometimes it doesn't work, you know. Anyways, we can start adding subdivision so that we could check if we have snapped everything or we have created a clean mesh. Control 1. Okay, so I'm kind of happy with the results. We have connected the booleans and clean up the mesh, so we can turn this thing back. And we're gonna do the same thing here. Same method. I'm gonna use the knife tool, connect them. That they're connected already. Next, this one. I think we need to use this part right here and just create another polygon for that one. This is gonna be tricky because we have 3 holes. This is gonna be more challenging. Okay. Next, this one. But the most important is, as long as you have good edge flow on the corners, you will be good. You will be having a smooth edge flow on your work, because once you have good edge flow on your corners, you will end up like having good results when you try to subdivide it. Like, I'm gonna show you later what I meant. Let me focus on this one first, cleaning up the mesh. Okay, so let's delete the other parts. Let's go to move tool, go to edge mode, like this one. We don't need this. X this whole edges. This one looks weird. This whole edges. Like, we need to connect this. We don't need this as well. This whole edges. We're going to connect these over here. So let me bring back the knife tool. That. Okay, move tool. Start deleting. Solve edges. Solve edges. Okay. You know, as you can see, we have sorry, we don't have that clean topology inside, but we're going to focus on the edges. So let's add another edge loops in the corners like this, just to make sure that we are achieving good results. Okay, as you can see here, we need to fix these part. So let me delete this edge.